You're listening to RealAgriculture.com. Get real, get connected.
I'm Lyndsey Smith with RealAgriculture.com. I'm joined today by Serge Buy with the Agricultural Institute of Canada. Now, Serge, your organization recently held a really neat conference here in Ottawa, and we've got a great report that's come out of that. So bring us up to speed. Tell us about the event and what's kind of come out of that.
Great. Well, the event was a way for various stakeholders, and from researchers in universities, government officials, commodity groups, and a number of other people that are interested and have a stake in agriculture to come together and be part of the process that started probably early last year, and that continued into a consultation, and then now the conference in July to bring people to discuss agricultural research policy. And it's basically to ensure that we have a most complete view of the different points that need to be included in an agricultural research policy in order to keep Canada at the forefront of the agricultural research community internationally, and ultimately make sure that that research translates into things that are that bring tangible benefits for producers, whether or not it's today, tomorrow, or in a more distant future. Things have to come back to something that is tangible.
Right, and so there is a PDF document that summarizes the breadth of the conference. There were several roundtables, breakout sessions. Highlight a few of the overarching themes that have come out of this conference.
Well, one of the things that was very, very clear within this is that we should definitely set goals for agricultural research, and I think that it is important for us to set long-term research priority and short-term priorities, and we should do that as a society and involving all the stakeholders in order to make sure that we know where we're going, and we can keep Canada as a leader in agriculture for the next few decades at least. We also need to look at making our diversity work to our advantage, and that's really to look at the various people that are part of agriculture. And again, I'll bring you back to the community groups, the government officials, the academics, the producers, the consumers, and industry, and bring them together to allow us to have good continuing debate on what those priorities are going to be. So our policy that will ultimately come out of this should reflect the fact that there is a need, and there is a strong need to ensure that there is constant dialogue with the various stakeholders to set those priority goals. And we also need to recognize Canada's global responsibility. It's nice to say that Canada is a world leader, but that also means that we have international responsibilities, and that means that we have to liaise with other scientists, liaise with other producers, but ensure that we can have strong and good discussions on this and exchange of information. Then we need to transfer knowledge. To have research sitting on shelves somewhere is absolutely not helpful to anyone. So it's making sure that we disseminate the information and we make it useful for the end users at one point. And finally, there is a need for stable and predictable financial support for research. I know that there are different priorities, and I know that there are different competing priorities for any government today. The thought is not to get more. The thought is to get a predictable, stable funding for the future in order to make sure that when we start research and we start a number of steps related to that research, we keep going in the direction, and we know that in the near future we still have the funding needed to continue and complete the research.
So, and that does answer somewhat my last question, which was, so what are the next steps? What are the action items, the first action items that have come out of this conference and this summary?
Well, the first action item for the Agricultural Institute of Canada, which is the organization that leads on the advocacy on agricultural research, the first action is to publish a policy. So the policy will come out from the conference, and the consultations we've done will be sent back to the stakeholders that attended the conference and those that have submitted comments. Those comments are going to be taken into account. They will send us more if needed, but we want to proceed fairly shortly. So the next immediate step is to publish the policy in mid-September, and to make sure that people have access to it, including the various politicians that are running around, and that's really what we want to do.
All right, Serge, thank you so much for your time, and we'll be linking to that summary document in this post, so anyone interested in reading more about what came out of this conference can do so. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.